All right, so with Python syntax, we want to define that factorial function. You go into that left panel, the text panel, and type define, def. This is how you set up a helper function in Python with an input parameter n, and then you hit the colon to finish it. That's the syntax, and it will automatically indent for you, waiting for you to put the actions that belong to the helper function in it. Is that coming up for you okay?
Yep.
And now we don't have to declare variables in Python. We just start using them and they appear. So you don't have to do anything other than say prod equals 1 to make the prod variable exist and have the value 1 in it. And then the way the for loop syntax works in Python is you go for I in range, open bracket, 1 to n, close bracket with a comma in between, and a colon, and now if you press enter, it's ready to put the actions in the for loop. Notice it's automatically indenting. It's kind of this interface automatically indents, waiting for the next action. So I'm just going to put that I want to print what I is, because I want to see what it's doing. And I'm going to then update the prod variable with prod times I. And you notice Python syntax, the multiplication sign is that little asterisk. So now that's all the actions I want to do inside the for loop. I want to exit that for loop now by hitting new line and then back arrow or backspace to be at the same indentation as the for of the for loop. And now I want to return the contents of prod, which is just return prod. That's the end of my helper function. Now if I press play now, up the top or run, nothing will execute because I'm not calling the function, I've just defined it. You probably already know that. So now I need to press enter a couple of times. I like to make a little bit of space. Back arrow to be fully to the left margin, and I'm going to call factorial. The function, and I'm going to pass in the parameter 5. How's that? That going okay?
I believe so.
Press play. You'll see you're just getting the printing coming out from what's in the range. 1, 2, 3, 4. The answer's not printing out. To print out the answer, we need to put a print function around the factorial call. Print factorial, we can make that look nice, factorial 5, and that should now print the result of the helper function, which is incorrect because 5 factorial is 120, not 24. And now we see an interesting quirk of Python. The range goes up to n but does not include n. If we want to include n, we need to put a +1 on there to go up to and including n plus 1. And now if we press play or run, it should give the right answer, 120. But it's printed quite a bit of things. It's printed what's in the for loop. Maybe we don't want to print that. We can put a little hash key there or a sharp if you're musically minded. Now it won't print. It will just print the final result. We can press play again or run again. Now it just prints that final answer. This print inside the for loop is greened out, which means it's just a comment now. And you might like to make a comment even about the weird way Python does. Weird way Python range works. That's why we had to put a +1 there. So you can run that, all good. Okay, so say I asked you to do something in Python, you've got to save it and submit it into the LMS. We're using the Trinket environment. Everyone will get a username, password for that, to use that to be able to save their work very soon. But at the moment, you can use it for free, but you can't save your work. You can export it though, download it by going on those 3 horizontal lines, and you can download your work. And what happens is you get a zip file put into your downloads folder with a terrible name that you would have to rename appropriately before submitting into the LMS.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Oh, yeah. One more thing. You can use this environment to check any example from within the LMS. So say I go to the LMS, I go maybe to week 3 and look at some abstract data type definitions. I can take a Python coded example from within the LMS, copy and paste the code directly into the Python browser. So say, for example, I want to try this action that's in Python. I can copy and paste that and go back to the Python window for Trinket. I can remove this information, delete it, and paste in the code from the LMS and run that code, and then you can just check to see it's working as you expect it to work and maybe change it and experiment with that.
Yeah.
Okay.